Carolyn Stearns' stories are filled with rich coloration brought by diverse experiences in agriculture, history, the equine world, and music. Her STEAM ice cream workshop embraces the STEM curriculum of science, technology, engineering, and math with the art of storytelling. Stories of young inventors and innovators inspire students in grades 1 through 12 to brainstorm alternative energy sources to power the 5-gallon ice cream maker. The workshop includes a story performance, math aligned with grade 1 through 12 standards, and science and engineering of energy, milk production, and conversion of liquids to solids. Do you know how much George Washington spent on ice cream just in one summer? Can you convert that to today's dollars? Students love this sample problem and happily embrace the math to find the answer. You'll have to find the answer from Carolyn later. The best part of this workshop is eating the 5 gallons of ice cream at the end. Carolyn Stearns.
My math curriculum is grade 1 through 12. All the problems have to do with milk, ice cream, energy, pulleys, sizes of wheels to turn, all kinds of fun things. I've started with the standards and worked backwards to create the problems from the standards so that I know they match. And we do serve all the ice cream at the end. And I can do multiple batches in a day. I just came out of 4 days at the Big E where we cranked out lots and lots of ice cream. My story presentations in STEAM Ice Cream are about young inventors and innovators. I feel this frees the kids to make a wild suggestion as how you could create a windmill or other implement of energy from recycled pieces. And so when they hear the trials and tribulations of another inventor, then maybe, just maybe, they'll raise their hand and say, what if we tried? What if we tried that? And it works. It really works. Maddie, where are you? Maddie girl, where are you? That girl's down in the cellar again? What are you doing down there? I'm working. He left his daughter his tools. She spent many hours in the basement with her papa's tools, and on that day she came out and presented her older brothers with a fabulous kite. Now it was a day in York, Maine where the wind came off the water in the spring air and it blew. And all the boys would be out there on Ward's Hill. And so her brothers ran and she came along to see the test of this new design. And she watched that kite struggle at first and then rise higher and higher into the sky. It went until it flew far above the kites of all the other boys in town, who quickly came over. Where'd you get that kite? So down to the cellar she went, and there was banging and there was noise. Now the first gift that came out of the cellar was not for the boys, but for her mama. It was a little foot warmer. It was a little footstool with a hole in it, and underneath she'd put a boiling kettle of water and her mother's teacup on the top. So her feet were warm and her tea was warm because she stayed up most of the night stitching and mending to bring in the money that fed the children. And Maddie presented her brothers with sleds like none others in Maine. And oh, whew, down the hill they blew, passing every boy in their dust as the snow fanned out behind them. Maddie's sleds were wicked fast. Until finally one night, her little prototype worked. And out of it came a paper bag that would stand up on the grocer's shelf. Why, she took her design all the way to Boston, not something a young lady in the 1800s would usually do all by themselves, but she went to have it patented. And she had to have a prototype made. And the idea was stolen from her. And he showed up and patented it just days before her. But Miss Maddie, she wasn't afraid to find a lawyer who believed in her sketchbooks. And sure enough, she won. Miss Maddie's design, we're still using today. We still take our paper bags and And we stand them up, and we fill them from the top down, and they're nice and recyclable. They go back to the earth so well. Miss Maddie knew what she was doing when she designed this, and some 80 other patents. They called her Lady Edison, Margaret Knight.